Good morning, everyone. I'm humbled and honored to have been asked to be here today. And first, I would like to extend my thanks to Brian Hydorn and the LaSalle High School community for giving me this opportunity. I find myself even more humbled when the topic at hand is something that, whether we recognize it or not, is so incredibly important to us: our legacy. Legacy has many forms and avenues to be present through. We all have an innate desire to leave a legacy, to make a difference. Whether it's important to us that we make that difference and leave that legacy with one person or 1,000 people, to know that you have left your mark on someone, to know that you are part of something bigger and more lasting than yourself, that is truly a legacy to be proud of. An institution like LaSalle High School is one built on legacy itself, taking namesake from St. John Baptiste de LaSalle, the patron saint of teachers of the youth. Today, more than 300 years after the conception of LaSallian philosophy and education, our own LaSalle High School carries on the legacy and spirit of John Baptiste and strives to impact and guide young men in their pursuit of education and faith. In the halls of LaSalle, legacy is shown in so many ways. It is shown in the championship banners waving in the gym and on the football field. These banners could not be hung without the sweat and exhaustion of every practice, the work done when no one is watching, the coaches and players uniting for a common goal. It can be seen in the lessons taught over a semester and in the exams taken with just a bit more confidence than the last time. These lessons cannot be taught without devoted teachers passionate about bettering their students, nor can the lessons be learned without the students being passionate about bettering themselves. It is felt in the very chapel we just left every year when those returning from Kairos pour their heart and soul out for all to see. This cannot be felt without the campus ministry, the devoted faith leaders of this school, and the intervention of the Holy Spirit on the hearts of each young man. It is spoken in the closing of every prayer as we affirm that we are called to serve. It is written in the mantras of the very crest of this school: Signum Fidei and Corpus Mens Anima. Now, Signum Fidei is a Latin phrase meaning sign of faith, how you show your faith. Corpus Mens Anima being a 3-term mantra for body, mind, and spirit, the 3 facets of our very being. We are called to serve and to show our faith in body, mind, and spirit. We are called to serve those around us. We are called to serve ourselves, and above all, we are called to serve the Lord. The LaSalle community has fostered a legacy in every facet. We are blessed to see a time when the continued tradition of excellence is upheld by more third-generation Lancers than ever before. This school continues to instill faith, community, and all-around excellence in every student. I'm proud to have such a rich familial legacy within the LaSalle community. From my father to my uncles, my cousins, and my extended family beyond, LaSallian pride runs deep within our blood. Speaking on behalf of all of them, I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this great school. The establishment of LaSalle as a pillar institution could not have been achieved without every individual who has walked these halls, staff and students alike. Our own LaSallian legacy is also due, in part, to the legacies of our competition, namely, those schools who have helped us build a renowned legacy for the GCL South and are our most rivaled students and most rivaled opponents in every arena. Though we face these schools in aggressive competition, we must also remember that they too are brothers in community and faith. They too want to follow and build upon the legacy of their own institutions while also living out the message of Christ. Be grateful for those who oppose you and the strength that they carry. Without formidable challenge, we would never know our greatest potential. Iron sharpens iron, just as one man sharpens another. Take heed of the pillars of your personal community, from the Bob Krugers, the John Bossies, and the Tom Doergers within your own life. Do not live in passive admiration of what has been done before you, but live in active inspiration of what it shows that you can do. Each of these men would be the first to tell you that it's not perfection that makes the difference. It is in the toil and the failure, the stumble and the fall. That is how you learn to stand. One man with an iron will and a mindset that he can make the smallest difference can move mountains. A community with this same mindset can change the world. At the end of the day, legacy is about the people around you. I'd like to give a very clear message to all of you, fathers, sons, brothers alike. Learn about one another. Learn from one another, and grow ever closer because of it. To the sons out there, talk with your dad about his life. Learn about him and his story, and learn through him in the very same way. Don't be afraid to ask the question that crosses your mind. You never know when a simple question about his youth could evolve into a valuable lesson, or more importantly, a moment to strengthen your bond together. Frequently, I look back at the opportunities that I had to ask my father something, anything, and I find myself feeling regret that I did not actively seek to learn about him and who he was, especially before I came around. To the fathers listening, be open and be honest. If you're asked a question, how things used to be, who you were, how those experiences changed you and made you the man that you are today, do not shrug off this question with dismissive reply or a one-line answer. There is a time and a place for everything. And if you find yourself being asked these big questions, make that time and make that place to give your answer. I would give anything to have that time and that place again with my own dad. Loss is very real, and it is present for everyone. It's a very harsh equalizer in life, and it's incredibly difficult to process, no matter the type nor the circumstance. Where one has experienced the loss of a loved one, there is a surplus of love that is dead set on going to the very person that we've lost. And love with a missing destination is felt as grief. There is, in my opinion, one unifying result of this experience that makes for common ground. Those around us, those that we love, and even the smallest moments with them, become all the more precious to us. When someone becomes blind, losing one of their most critical senses that tethers them to their life, they grieve the loss of that sight. They mourn the life that they had before, when they could see, when they felt that things made sense, when they did not feel lost every moment of the day. They wish so badly to go back before their sight was taken, wishing they could see the faces of their loved ones again. Wishing to go back before feeling like they have to choose to either feel like a burden constantly asking for help, or run into unseen obstacles trying to navigate such a dark and scary new world alone. It feels burdensome and it weighs you down, to the point that a normal, everyday act becomes an exhausting venture of struggle. Neither path is easy. To ask another to help you through life, or to forge your path alone. But we need to remember that we are not alone. God is always with us. And we are not a burden. Family is always there to help. The world before us may seem that much scarier now that things seem darker, and knowing that things won't go back to how they were before. But to accept help is to accept love. As that individual navigates their new life, they find their path one way or another. And along the way, they find that when they've lost their sight, all of their other senses become that much stronger, that much more valuable to them. Just as one may lose their sight, we all experience the loss of a loved one. And just as those other senses become so much more critical to that person's life, we find that those loved ones we still have with us are so much more precious to our own hearts. When we experience loss, we find ourselves wanting so badly to just talk once more with that person. Just one more conversation. Just 3 more minutes. Just one question. I implore you, do not let those questions go unasked, nor the conversations unspoken. Sit and connect with one another. Start by asking a simple and genuine question of your loved one. Take the first step to connect. And when asked, respond earnestly and wholeheartedly. Tell the stories where you succeeded and where you failed alike. Talk about how you felt and what you learned. Don't be afraid of what emotion may come or what tears might flow. Those emotions and those tears build bridges among hearts. When we sit and share in genuine connection, there's only love. For those of us who have had the pleasure of going through the experience of Kairos, you know just how impactful sharing those experiences can be. Everyone wants their legacy to be positives remembered and negatives forgotten. But without those negatives, without those failures, without the times where we find ourselves falter, we would not have our successes. We would not have won the championship, nor would we have aced that exam. Without falling, we would not learn to stand again. On the most arduous and daunting walk up to the mound of Golgotha, Christ fell 3 times. And by the end, he was standing on his own 2 feet. But even he did not carry his cross alone. Even the Son of God fell to his knees under a burden greater than he could bear. And even the Son of God accepted a helping hand in his time of need. When you succeed, relish that moment and celebrate the good work that you have done. And when you fail, do it spectacularly and with every ounce of effort in your being. Be sure to celebrate that failure all the same, because you have given your all to it. You will learn from it, and you will be better for it. A man who has poured his soul into his works can hold his head high and tell his story with pride, regardless of success or failure as an outcome. I remember growing up thinking that my father was Superman and Einstein all in one. The older I got, the more I realized maybe he wasn't as smart as Einstein, and he might not have been as strong as Superman. I learned he wasn't the perfect man that I thought he was. And the more I learned this, the more I continue to learn about his faults, his errors, and his fears. All that he could cover up with a demanding presence and a booming voice, the more I love him. Our imperfections and our struggles are what make us human. And it makes us more relatable to anyone who might think that we have a big S across our chest or can lift a train car. Our individual struggles are as much a part of our legacy as our proudest occasions. Live out your legacy every day. Emulate the standard that this great school has instilled within you, no matter how long ago you walked its halls. Hold paramount the pillars of LaSalle: faith, community, respect, education, and justice. Let this show in your everyday, in your highest highs and in your lowest lows, in the greatest feats and in the smallest acts. Do this with genuine intention and love in your heart. Legacy is not a series of successes on the grandest of scale, but it is the ever-present mindset to put your best foot forward and be the man you need to be, for yourself and for those you love. It all starts with the everyday decision to be the man you want to be the man you say you will be, to be the man that God is calling you to be. The legacy of a man is found not only in his words and his acts, but it's found in how the mention of his name affects the hearts of those who had the privilege to know him. The flood of emotion and memory that a single name evokes from just one person, even long after they're gone. For better or worse, large or small, loud or quiet, your legacy is your own. So make it as genuine as you can and be damn proud of it. St. John Baptiste de LaSalle wrote, "God of love, set me aflame with love for you and for my neighbor. Let this be your legacy, and build that legacy with and within those that you love." Thank you.